Well, folks, I might finally not be late to the party. Usually it takes me a while, like 2 years after something comes up or whatever, until I comment on it. But this time this is still fairly fresh at this point. So the Witcher Netflix series. I'll let you in on one thing before I start that you may not be aware of. I actually prefer fantasy over history. Believe it or not, a lot of my videos may suggest the contrary because of all my nitpicking and overanalyzing and everything, but I love fantasy, and it's great to get away from how much this world sucks in so many ways and just immerse yourself in a world that works differently. At first, when I saw that Henry Cavill is going to play Geralt, I was like, I don't know, he looks nothing like him, but the way they dressed him up here with the hair and everything, was actually pretty decent, and he seems to be doing a good job as far as I can tell. So first off, crossbow to the face or not. And if you're wondering, this is perfectly plausible. In fact, I've tested this against a bow, if I could hit an arrow out of the air with a sword. I didn't manage, no, after a couple of failed attempts, and it was fairly low draw weight, but I'm pretty sure for even a regular human being, it's possible to at least dodge a shot, arrow, or bolt. It's way easier to dodge than to hit it out of the air, because then you're adding a whole lot of complication to that. If you just have to sidestep, you just evade that line, and it's coming at you easy enough. If you also have to time the moment when the sword intercepts the arrow in flight, that makes it way more difficult. But he has enhanced reflexes and speed. Should be piece of cake for him. Okay, so here they went with there's got to be something special about him, so he uses the sword backwards. There are some reverse grip techniques in some martial arts, but it's pretty rare overall, and I've talked about that a number of times. Personally, I think it's a disadvantage. I don't think it does anything better than a regular grip on a sword, and it has some disadvantages. So overall, I think it's worse, but there are some viable techniques with a reverse grip. And basically, it's just a matter of what's easier. Like, some angles become easier to cut. Like, for example, an undercut from your lower right is going to be easier with the reverse grip compared to standard grip, whereas a downward cut from the upper left is going to be way easier with the standard grip and almost impossible with a reverse grip if you want to get the edge alignment right. Just to give you some examples. And thrusts, you're going to limit your range, etc., etc. There are a number of things that are a bit tricky about that. Now, in very close quarters, grappling distance, basically, it may have some advantages. Not that you can't do that with the standard grip, with half swording and such, which he kind of does right there, prying this guy's head open. Anyway, so I'd give him a pass on that, because he's so physically superior, and if that's what he trains, because he wants to be a special snowflake with a sword, I have my bias. Some people will tell you that the reverse grip isn't that bad, and they have a point. Everybody has their own preferences and everything, but I just think standard is better. But he switches, so he does both. So he just deflects it up. This is a case where I can live with the spin. The way he does it here is fine, because he passes by the dude, and as he's spinning, basically, the guy is not facing him directly, so he's kind of spinning past him. There are going to be way worse cases of spinning later, you'll see. Anyway, realistically, like in actual combat, especially when everybody is high on adrenaline, this guy would still attack him. Like, guaranteed. Stabbing through the thigh, yeah, it would hurt like crazy if you're not on adrenaline. Chances are, this guy probably wouldn't even feel it, in that moment. So, and that's not enough to stop him structurally, to just break his structure down completely to the point where he can't attack anymore. With the sword in his thigh, yeah, it sucks, but it's going to suck afterwards, but he can absolutely still strike him with the axe. And this is what I mean by internal logic. Like, there's nothing really, no magic or anything involved right here that I'm aware of that would explain why this dude just goes, I am done. You know, maybe if he's super pain sensitive. Yeah, that's the overanalyzing part. This is quite nice. What he did there. I don't know. There's something about this gesture that makes it look extreme. Oh, this is probably also the sound effect. The swoosh sound that makes him look really freaking fast, which is what they're going for, of course, because he is. Yeah, that certainly works. Okay, then that throw looks a bit awkward. It doesn't really look like a full-powered throw or anything. The sword just kind of glitches out of his hand into the guy's chest. But whatever. So this guy has a really strange-looking... Well, actually, it's not necessarily that strange. It's kind of like a dewsack. And he also has this handle there. Now, interesting idea. Would that be useful? I mean, in some situations... I don't think it's needed because you can grab the blade like around the spine and kind of pinch the flat. But you know, it's actually not a terrible idea. Kind of like that. So here, this is one of those moments. This is one of those dramatic moments that just don't really make sense practically. Like, why would the dude just be standing there like? I'm going to kill you with my death glare. Like, you still need to continue fighting. You can't just be like, you know? And then he just leisurely stabs him because he does nothing. That facial expression, like, he doesn't look like a guy who's just been stabbed in the chest. He looks like somebody who's just been beaten at a card game, you know? It's like... Damn it, how dare you? Like, he looks offended, he looks disappointed. He doesn't look like a dying man. I find that a little funny right here. And he just keeps looking at him and just, dude, you suck. Like, he keeps giving it, like, that's the look on his face. His decapitated head will forever hold this expression of disdain and disappointment and annoyance. It's like, wow. Anyway. So here, this is an example of the bad kind of spinning. That's a pet peeve of mine. This is this spinning trope in its bad way. There are situations where you can get away with it. This is not one. Like, if you stand in front of somebody and without a setup or anything, at a time when they can perfectly well attack you, and you turn your back to them, all she needs to do is stab him in the back right here. And that's what I mean. Like, fair enough, people have given examples of, you know, spinning being pulled off successfully. And yeah, it's, you know, there are situations. For almost everything you can say, you can point out, there's going to be some kind of exception. But this, that's a pet peeve. That's just silly. Anyway, and, you know, more spinning. They're going to do so much spinning. It's just the trope is that somebody who spins in a fight is extremely graceful and everything. I think that's what they're trying to convey here. High agility and dexterity. Yeah, again, this is just not a time when you want to spin. And this is just this tired old routine of he ducks before the thing even happens, and I get it. It's for the safety of the actors and everything, but it just doesn't look good to me. So, now this, of course, is shenanigans. Him holding the sword on his back to parry. Totally shenanigans. It's for looks. It's to make him cool and everything. Fair enough. I'll just give it a pass based on the rule of cool. It's not something I would recommend doing. Yeah, in HEMA sparring or whatever. That would get you into all kinds of trouble. But I mean, this is nice. This kind of missed his leg by this little bit. And he looks coordinated, he looks like he's in control, and this is something I really like. This grapple here that he does, that's great. So he grabs it, wrenches it out of her hand, and if you look at the position of her elbow, there's no way anyone could hold on to this. Broken structure, and flip, there it goes. Yeah, that's great. So there are definitely some techniques in there that are very impressive and look great. And if you take this as a turn your brain off and enjoy the action, I think it's good. I think it's quite good. It's definitely among the most dynamic scenes I've seen. And also it's nice that they don't constantly jump cut. You know, like there are jump cuts in there, of course, but it's not like all the time. Like you can see the camera stays with them for quite a bit. So that's nice. It's not like cut all over the place. So you can actually follow what they're doing. And that's something that I definitely appreciate. There are way too many movies where you have confusing camera angles and they switch all the damn time, and somebody cannot take a breath without the camera switching perspective 3 times, you know, that sort of thing. So that's nice. I definitely appreciate that, and seems pretty good. This is all I've seen, keep in mind. I have not seen any more of anything of the series. I've just seen this one particular fight scene here, and it's pretty good. It has some of the tropes that make me roll my eyes, but that's basically my own fault. So, yeah, otherwise, pretty good. I think Henry Cavill, at least based on this scene, probably not a bad choice for this role. So, hope you enjoyed this commentary / rant thing, and the silly winter wonderland out there. Yeah, I know it's pretty, but I do not enjoy shoveling snow for hours. Anyway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, folks.